Hello everyone, my name is Imperius and welcome back to Eviternity II. Today we're doing map number 27, Imperial, and it starts off with a bit of a spicy fight here at the start. So we get some ammo, we've got 2 megaspheres, I think again that's for the co-op start. We're going to press the button to kick off the fight, and then we're going to grab some cell packs as we wait for things to spawn in. Now you're going to have 2 Archviles, 2 Astromancubi on these pillars. And then we've got some ads in the background in the form of Revenants, Astral Cacodemons, and I think even some Nightmare Cacodemons. Maybe they come later. So the idea here is we're going to just kill the Archviles. We're going to try and duck behind the pillars to avoid the flames to the extent that's possible. And that's 3 Archviles. 3 Archviles on Annihilate Me. That's interesting. Don't think I ever noticed that before. I think I always just felt like I'd never killed the second one. But anyway, we've got that second megasphere, so I'm going to pick that up now, just so that I don't... Yikes! That was about a 50 damage. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's why I picked it up. This is started strongly, but it's going downhill fast. And there was a Nightmare Cacodemon there. Okay. Come on now. Okay, there we go. He's dead. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this level. You need to get a red and a blue key to finish the level. And off this sort of central area, there's a path that takes you to the blue key and the red key. So we'll go get one of those in order. The order you met them doesn't really matter. There are pros and cons of each strategy. I'll show you the way I like to do it. But of course you can experiment and try it your own way if you want. So we're not going to go that way. We're actually going to go this way first to the end, because that will net us a shotgun and chain gun, as well as some other bits and pieces, and we can clear this out now. This is probably... yeah, I think this is the most efficient way to do it, because you can clear this area out, like I said, get the extra weapons, and then that sort of sets you up for the 2 side areas, the red and blue key. You can actually see both the red and the blue key in that sort of starting circle area we're in. If you look up, you can see them on little pedestals, and they do come down once you get up there. Oops, there we go. But for now, we're just going to kill these guys in the back, and then we'll refocus on the Astral Cacodemons, Astromancubi. Bit of a delay in getting to uploading this episode because, well, summertime, been on holiday, managed to get a little bit of time off, so that's nice. But now we are back and we are dooming again, so I'm very much looking forward to finishing this Eviternity II WOD out. It's been a great experience on Annihilate Me, and yeah, we're really in the home stretch for the last couple of levels. And I've already got some follow-up content planned after this as well, something very different, which I'm very excited to do. But for now, let's refocus our efforts on map 27. We're going to do a bit of clearing out here with some Astro Arachnotrons, and then we're going to press on down this area towards one of the 2 keys. I can't remember which one it is, whether it's blue or red, but it's kind of inconsequential. You need both of them to lower the way to the exit and the final fight. You might have clocked back when I was in that other area, there were a blue and red switch next to each other. Now for this area, we're going to get surrounded by Cacodemons, but that's okay because we can just go round them in circles. I suppose if you're playing with infinite height here, you might be inclined to want to use the plasma gun to push through if you can't sort of squeeze through the Cacodemons. But I think that only really matters for the first maybe like 5 or 10 seconds or so, because you can see, like right now, I can get around these guys pretty easily. And then as soon as the pillars come down, which I'm anticipating, we're just going to quickly push back through. And now we're up here, we can deal with all of these imps pretty easily. Even if that catches you off guard, you can plasma your way out of them pretty reliably. And then I would recommend just coming up here and sort of killing them at your leisure. It's a pretty cool level, this. I really like the design of it. I think it sort of it evolves the aesthetic and the gameplay from map 26, I think, quite nicely. So it is a good continuation in that respect. The music as well, it absolutely slaps. It's a really good track, as always. Like, I don't think we've had a single miss on the Eviternity soundtrack so far, and given that I've already played it through on Ultraviolence, spoilers, there's not going to be a miss. It is pretty tricky. This level is pretty tricky. The final fight is quite tough on Ultraviolence. Yeah, it's quite tough on Ultraviolence. It's pretty hard on Annihilate Me. And there's also a secret fight afterwards, which on paper should be quite straightforward. It does have some quite high tier enemies, as we'll see when we get there. But it can very much catch you off guard if you aren't playing your best, as we shall see. Ominous foreshadowing. This is like my third attempt, I think, at this level. I've died at least twice, because I've died on the final fight and the final secret fight. Again, which we'll talk through when we get there. And it took a little bit of practice as well to sort of get this level down on Annihilate Me, because it is a lot harder than Ultraviolence. Now, one thing I do remember from Ultraviolence on this level was that there were a lot more sniping shotgunners around the little walkways on the side. I think they removed them. I guess they removed them in the final release, because they're not in the... if they're not in Annihilate Me, then they're probably not in Ultraviolence either. And when I played this on RC5, it was on Ultraviolence. Booby-trapped staircase here. So you want to run to the top, push all the way through, and then turn around and deal with the enemies. There's a couple of blue barons, which are pretty nasty, as we can see, but it's okay, because there is a secret... mega armor we're gonna get. Is he still alive? He's still alive. I think one of them's teleported down. I was gonna say he's teleported downstairs, but maybe not. Come on now, get your 80s away from me. That was a bit more sloppy than I'd have liked, and yeah, there is a pain elemental as well. On paper, again, that strategy is pretty foolproof. Just run to the top and plasma everything. You do get some cells here. There's obviously a green armor. There's a secret blue armor, which I think we're going to go get. Goodness me, that guy is all over the place. Right, so what you want to do is jump over here, press this little switch, and then a blue armor will teleport in on this tag, sector there, which you need to tag as a secret. And I think it's untaggable until you press that switch as well, which is quite nice. Yeah, definitely remember a lot more shotgunners on this little walkway than is in this version. Now, down here, another nasty little fight. You've got some nightmare pinkies. Kill them first if you can, and then focus on the green barons. Yeah, don't get too complacent. I probably should have kept the plasma on there. I don't think there was any real need to swap off. And yeah, watch out for that nasty little surprise as well. And then this is going to take us up to where the key is for this particular area. I recommend doing sort of one side like this, clearing it out. Be careful not to push too far forward, because there's at least a couple nasties at the back that will see you when you start going through the pillars, including as you can see right there, an archvile. So we're going to try and kill him before he resurrects anything else. Funneled him down the right side away from that astral corpse, which is pretty good. And yeah, pressing this switch will lower the blue key into the central arena, which you can grab now or you can grab later. Either way, now we've got to go into the left-hand side of the level to go and get the red key. I'd say this is probably the harder side. Probably. I think I like to do the other side first because you do get that blue armor. And I think you get more ammo as well to come into this half. So I think doing the right side first better prepares you for success on the left side. Not that it's that much more difficult, but I think it is more difficult. You've got damaging floors you need to navigate. There's a little vertical maze to get through. It's just got a bit more going on. We'll also get the BFG secret over this side of the level, which will help us immensely for the final fight. Right, things are progressing pretty nicely. Do you kind of want to kill those guys? I should probably do it now. There we go. Nice. Let's restock on my blue armor a little bit, and then we're going to come over here. The wall here lowers when we approach this backpack. So I'm going to try and draw out the arachnotrons first. Probably would be more efficient to use them for infighting now that I think about it, but then there are some pain elementals that come out when the wall lowers, so maybe it's not worth it. Or a pain elemental. Get out of here. This whole kind of section really gives me Stardate 20x7 vibes, albeit with a different colour palette, but I don't know, there's just something about it that reminds me of that. So a couple of archviles here, pretty sure they are Annihilate Me exclusive enemies. I like to draw them towards the staircase here because it's easy to funnel them and limited impact of what they're actually able to resurrect. But then I do like to come back here and try and kill as much as my ammo will allow, just sniping them off from the distance. Now that megasphere you can see at the bottom of the stairs, we are going to avoid that for the time being because that can be quite useful, picked up a little bit later on. And I think given that we still have blue armor, like we're still riding 132 blue armor, I feel like we don't need it right now. There is also a secret soul sphere on the other side of this little vertical maze that is before us, which will help us get back up to higher levels of health if we need it. It does look like I'm going to run out of bullets before I kill all of these guys. I don't know if there is any more bullets. What is with this Revenant? This is the toughest Revenant. It's been de-hacked to have like triple health or something. Goodness me. Right. Avoiding the Mega. Into the vertical maze. Now we're going to push this switch, and it's going to lower part of the maze. I'm going to get this cell pack first. And that's going to cause a whole bunch of stuff to spawn in or be revealed, not least of which is a Archvile. So we're just going to try and draw this Cacodemon away from the Archvile a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't get revived. Then we'll go back in and deal with it. Ah, you. Alright, time to retreat. Time for a bigger gun. Right, I'm going to push this switch, and that will lower the path onwards. Ooh. Now if we drop down here, here's the soul sphere I was telling you about, and then that gets us back to here. So we can go back through the maze with a bit more health. Armor's not looking great right now, but we will be okay. Grab the rocket launcher, push the switch, and then come to the back side of the maze, because that will have activated a whole bunch of green barons. Most of them are stationary. That one obviously isn't, but I think the rest are, so by going backwards and off the side we can now kill them pretty easily. So you can see if you'd done this side first, you would get a rocket launcher, and then that rocket launcher could be used for the other side if you wanted to do it in that order. But I do think that doing it right side first is easier overall. That Nightmare Cacodemon can be a bit tricky. Now there is a secret behind me, which they patched it to make it easier, I think. We'll talk about that when we get there. But first, let's just finish clearing off the side here. Again, being careful of the waking everything up. There's a Cyber Baron on this side. I can't remember if there's an Archvile on this side as well, but Cyber Baron's scary enough. Just being cautious. What have we got? There is an Archvile. There we go. And another Cyber Baron. Very nice. Right, that will lower the red key. Now here, there's actually a secret switch through there, which just lowers the bar and you can walk straight through. It's pretty easy, right? Whether it's intentional or not, that is not the way I did that on RC5. I actually tried to strafe jump over the small wall, which made it a much harder secret to obtain than just shooting a switch. But again, that may be user error more than them designing it more easily. Now you can see here we've got the BFG, but it's it spawned in a whole bunch of stuff, including some Cyber Barons, some Astrals, and some Pain Elementals. Is there still a Pain Elemental? There's a lot of Lost Souls flying overhead. There is. If you stand behind this rock, most of the Cyber Barons, apart from the 2 that start up on this platform, won't be able to shoot you. And actually, more than that, the ones that are down there will probably clump together. I mean, they haven't right now, but they often do. And clumped Cyber Barons are obviously perfect for infighting each other. Oh, go away. Goodness me. What you can do is, if you just go to the edge like that, you can actually bait them to splash a rocket up at you, which is the ideal way to promote infighting. So that's what I'm going to try and do here as well. Just see if I can get them to splash each other, which looks like it has. So they'll all kill each other. You know, one is going to survive, or are they both going to die? They're both going to die. Beautiful. Ideal scenario. Now, I do use some cells. Obviously, you saw some cell usage at the top there, but I think at this point you really do want to be saving it. Now, we can grab this Megasphere now because we're going to go to the final fight right now because we've already pre-cleared the route to it. So we can go in with our, 600 cells, call it, and 200 gives us the best chance for that particular fight. The fight itself is in a couple waves. Movement's pretty restricted. The ability to camp is pretty restricted. I think there's at least one Necromancer that comes in towards the end. So you do want to make sure you've got the BFG ammo to handle him and the various Astrals and Nightmare Cacodemons. There's a slight inefficiency there in health and armor. I don't know how you've managed to splash me, I'm nowhere near a wall. And here we've got a backup Megasphere, which I guess we could just grab now for reasons. I shouldn't have done that, really. I should have saved that for the final fight. That's just nerves kicking in and slightly poor decisions being made. So we're going to do laps. We're going to try and do laps. We're going to use the BFG to push our way through as needed. And we will obviously grab a Megasphere as needed. But I do want to try and be as careful as possible with cells because there really are not that many. Right, when this wall comes down, we can push in here. Yikes. We can push in there. And now we can make a bit of a stand here. There are some more cells we can grab. And now we're just going to wait for the middle to come down. God, they're just too tough, those things. Right, the middle's coming down. That's good. Cells are not exactly where I would like. Right, good. So you can see there, look, I ended on 40 cells. I basically had one spare BFG shot, which is tight. But I think in general principle that's kind of what you want to be doing. You want to move around until the area with the Mancubi opens up, use that as a little camping spot, and then use what you have carefully conserved of your BFG left for the middle. Yeah, wishing I'd kept that Megasphere right now. the zombie men, that's the exit, but we got a secret fight to do. And we're going to go through here to do it. Now, this fight is basically all Barons, including, or Baron variants, including Cyber Barons. There is damaging floor, but there's quite a lot of health, there's quite a lot of ammo. They've added Pinky Demons too. I don't think that's an Annihilate Me exclusive. Now I'm just focusing on the Cyber Barons. Regrettably, in the attempt literally before this one, basically what just happened, almost happened there, actually happened. I just caught a stray Cyber Baron rocket and the run was ended with like one enemy left after having beaten the final fight. I can only really attribute that down to just sort of last minute nerves of closing out the level. Because on paper I feel that that should be a fairly straightforward fight. But in practice, I've never really found it to be. Anyway, that's map 27 done. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.